continuing the tutorial. So to set up NGINX now, right? So the first thing you should check is back in your router configuration uh, if the port forwarding setup you are using the right IP address, right? So for example, here on my port 80 and port 443, I'm using this IP address 192.168.0.140, right? So that should be the address for my macOS. Um, so what I should do is go to the macOS network preferences, and then I should check uh, advanced, and then TCP/IP tab, and then check if it's the same address. In this case, I'm using dynamic IP, so it's changed to this 139. So I need to change this for it to work. So I'll set up here manually, and then I'll input that address there. So it's 192 dot 168 dot 0.140, and then I press OK and apply, and yeah, we're good for this part. So first thing is go here to cfa-os.vercel.app to find some tutorials. So you just click here tutorial, and then SMS, and then set up a self-hosted server. So here is the steps you need to do. So the first thing is you need to install brew. So you simply copy this thing here and run on your terminal to install brew, right? So brew is a package manager to do a lot of things, and then once you install, you can run brew update and then brew install nginx, and then you can go to http colon dash slash slash your server IP to see. So it should show like a nginx default page. And then yeah, I'm skipping through this because this is easy and I think you guys did it a million times. So so then you should install node, npm yard, and pm2, right? And then you just install your projects. I'm assuming you guys already have your project installed, so I'm gonna go from there. Okay. Set up the domain names on Namecheap, right? You should add this to Cloudflare. So you can go here to Cloudflare, and then I'll log in here. And then you can add your website. In this case, I already added my website, which is guilhermemacos.xyz. So you can click it, and then you can go to DNS here, and then you find these name servers, right? So it's amy.ns.cloudflare.com and ray.ns.cloudflare.com. So this you should add this to the Namecheap configuration. So if you go over here to Namecheap, so the dashboard here, let me see if I'm already logged in. So I'm signing in. Okay, so here's my website. So I click manage, go here to name servers, and I click add a new name server, and I add those, right? So amy.ns.cloudflare.com and ray.ns.cloudflare.com, and then I save, and then that's it. We should wait up to 24 hours, I think, for the name server to be set up, and then you can control your DNS for this domain Namecheap via this dashboard here. Okay. Cloudflare, you should add a DNS record of the type A to the dashboard there on Cloudflare, right? So I go back here to the dashboard, I edit my website, which is guilhermemacos.xyz, and click DNS, right? And then there's a DNS management table here. So I can add a record here. So the first record is always the @ sign. That's the root domain, right? And then I just input my IPv4 address. So I can go to what's my ipaddress.com to find my external IP address, right? So I just copy it and I set it up here, right? So I just save, and then it's good. And then I need to put another one, which is www, so you can access via this address as well. So it's the same IP address, except the name is different, right? So only these two for now. So first thing, you should run your project. Like I have a simple Node.js project here. You just listens to a port, and then if you call the port on root, it sends hello world Bagya, with the name of one of our developers at CFA. Okay, so then you should run here node server.js, and then server is listening on localhost 4000, right? So how can I can already access it from internal, from my local local network, right? So but what I want to do is access it from outside, so people from the outside world can access it, right? So what I should do is configure NGINX. So we already installed it. So what you can do is go to the NGINX folder. So if you installed with homebrew, so this is the path, right? So -opt -homebrew. So let's navigate to it. So let's open a terminal real quick, and then cd -opt cd homebrew cd etc cd nginx. Yeah, and so here you can ls to see the files, and then this is inside the nginx folder, right? So you can remove the sites available folder, since if you're gonna set up a configuration site enable, we don't need sites available, right? So you can just here rm-rf and then sites available, right, to remove it. And then you can create a new configuration file. You can just go here to sites enabled, and then I already have like a SMS controller. You can create anything here, like a touch and then some domain .xyz. Yeah, so it's here. And then to edit it, you should do like I like to use Vim actually for the text editor. It already comes with macOS, so I just Vim SMS controller. And then you should set up your configuration here. The easiest way is just to copy and paste this, right? So I would just press I here to edit, and then if I had nothing here, I'll just let's try the other one, so maybe it's easier. So let's go here to Vim some domain .xyz, and then here you have the empty file, right? So I just copy this thing here, which is to listen on the server on port 80, and this other port there, which I use sometimes for debugging. You can listen to any ports you want, like in this case I'm listening on either port. If I access it, I'll redirect to localhost 4000, right? If I access my IP address on one of those ports, it just redirects to localhost 4000, right? So I just press I here to edit, letter I, and then I right click, paste, and then it's okay, and then I press ask, and then I press :QW to exit Vim, saving the file, right? Actually it's WQ, sorry, to write and then quit. Okay, so saved and exited, and then Yeah, I think now you can actually start NGINX. So if you're already running it, you can just run sudo NGINX stop and then put your password. If you installed using brew, you can do like sudo. What's the command again? It's sudo nginx -s reload. Yeah, it gave some error, but I think it reloaded. And or not, but let's see. Uh, let's see if you're missing something. Uh, okay, so I just created this configuration to sites enable, but I need actually to go to this page here, which is nginx.conf, which is the main file for configuration of nginx, right? I think it's here. Let's try vim nginx.conf. Yeah, here's the file. So here's the main file. It already comes with all this stuff right from nginx. So you just go here to the bottom of the file before the closing curly brace, right? And then you press I to edit, and then you should input here the this line here, include dash shop dash homebrew dash etc nginx sites enable dash the star sign, right? So that will include the configuration for all the files inside sites enable inside the main nginx configuration, right? So we have to include it here, or otherwise it will not work. So I'll just colon Q, WQ to save and exit, right? And then we're good for this part. The SSL certificates to enable HTTPS, right? So how you do this is usually by installing certbot, which is this thing that generates the certificates for you. So you can run brew install certbot, right, to install it. And then you should, yeah, I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but you need to go back here to sites enabled, and then here you have some domain.xyz. I'm just using my so Guilherme macOS.xyz, which is my actual domain. I have to change this line here, and then I colon WQ to save and quit, right? Yeah, so now if you install certbot, you can generate now your certificates. So you should run like this thing here, except put here your actual domain name. Yeah, I think it's cert only. Okay, so now I'll show you how to do this. You get you get two strings, right? One is this first string here, and then the value of the string. So you need to go to the Cloudflare dashboard and create a DNS record called txt. So for example, I go here to the dashboard and then add a new record. The type here is txt, and then the name of it should be this Acme challenge something something. I'll just copy it, go back here, set it up, and then Save and wait for Cloudflare to propagate. Less than 15 seconds. Yeah, that's it. So then you just save. Yeah, so this is required. So this is the other string, right? So I need to copy it. So copy it, paste here, and then save. And then we should wait like well, he said there 15 seconds, right? Because Cloudflare is real quick. If you're doing it on some other server, then it wouldn't propagate this fast. But on Cloudflare, it's fine, right? Because it's super fast. So as I'm talking to you, I think we're going about 10 seconds. So 11, 12, 13, 15. Then you just go back here and press enter. And let's see. So okay, so you get this thing here, successfully received certificate, right? So certificate is saved at this thing here, so it validated correctly. So now you have the certificates, the full chain.pem and the priv key.pem, right? The certificate expires on, I think it's 3 months from now. Yeah, so that concludes that. So now we have the certificates. Next step is to enable HTTPS, right? So you can copy this block of code here and then open the terminal, go to sites enabled folder, right? And then, yeah, just vim your domain, press I to edit, and then I will just paste here the code. Except this part here, I'll substitute by my actual domain name, and here as well your domain.xyz should be my domain, right? So same thing here, .xyz. Yeah, this looks good. And then just ask and then colon, right, and quit, right? So should be enabled now. I just need to run sudo NGINX-s reload, type my password, and then we're good, I think. We should be able to access the site. Okay, so here now to test the site, I'm just gonna open Chrome browser in my phone, and I'll just navigate to guilhermemacos.xyz, right? Yeah, so it shows up reload world Bagia, which is what I set up in my server. So I can even change that. So let's try. Let me change here in the macOS to hello world Bagia 2 and restart the server real quick. And then let's refresh the page. Yeah. So yeah, you see, reload world Bagia 2. So it's working. I had to test from my phone because, well, if you're serving your self-hosted website through NGINX, you can't access the site from inside the network, right? So that's why I'm using my phone, because it has a 4G connection. It's a different thing, and then I can access my site, right? So anyone in the external world now can access my self-hosted website. That's it, I think. Thanks, guys. Bye bye.